So Renault India has come in full force to Auto Expo 2020. They've got a wide range of products, and running me through them is the managing director, Venkatram M. Venkat,
Good morning.
thanks for showing me around. I think it's quite an exciting display you have here. Formula One, obviously in your DNA, this is what the future of it looks like.
Yeah, RS2027, and this is a vision car, and we continue to work on this to electrify it and further. We don't know what the future would be on the Formula One racing, so we are moving towards that direction.
Well, that's the future, and that's stratospheric. Let's come down to earth, which is the Duster. This is really, it was our car of the year once, by the way, and still going strong. But, very frankly, I want to ask you, the diesel is going. Do you think that's going to be a bit of a handicap because the K9K was a very strong diesel?
Diesel, because of emission norms, we have to stop it. And however, we are coming with a new generation engines, and we have HR13, which is a very powerful engine, petrol gasoline engine.
Right.
And this is going to be the future engine for us to power the Duster.
So this is interesting. So this is a turbo petrol.
Yes.
I mean, so it's pretty high tech. I think obviously getting a lot of power out of just 1.3 liters.
Yep.
So are you looking for a combination of performance and economy?
Definitely, this is the engine of the future, as I said before, with 150 PS. It's a very powerful engine, and if you see the fuel economy, this will be best in the category moving forward. There are a lot of things which are being worked out, and there's homologations going on now. So hopefully we'll see this engine on the roads very quickly.
And automatic version, can we expect that as well, a CVT with this?
Of course, we are working on CVT. Already we have a CVT, and we'll continue to have CVT.
Right. So this is an engine, and obviously you've got the HR10, which we'll come to later, which is part of the family. So then, having both the HR10 and HR13, is there a case to localize this?
HR10 definitely we are going to localize. This we need to evaluate based on volumes, how we would be selling the products of the future. And depending on the volumes and economic situation, we'll start localizing this too.
Right. Talking about volumes, being very honest, Capture, not done too great volumes. Let's just go to that. Still a great looking car, but just want to understand, what are your thoughts or future for the Capture? Obviously, this will also get the HR13. That's quite logical. So are you going to try and again give it a new lease of life with a new powertrain?
We already have a BS6 Capture now. We are ready. And we will continue to keep this in our portfolio because there are many customers who love this car still. So we don't want to discourage them. So we are continue to have this on our showrooms. And but however, we will not going to get any facelift in this year. But moving forward, we need to see what needs to be done on this.
Well, that's interesting. So there's possibility of upgrading it even further.
Yes, depends on our customers, how many people would like this in future.
Right. Let's again now move to the future, talking about the future, which is the whole world is saying that it is electric. Zoe Electric, of course, this is, a car that's kind of given you an electric footprint all over Europe. Obviously, in India, it will be quite limited, but I think even in small numbers, there's a case for this just to show that you are leaders in electrification.
First of all, this is European #1 car. We all know that.
Right.
And this right-hand drive is also made in UK for Zoe. So maybe there is a possibility in future to bring as a halo product.
Right.
But will it be a mass market product? No.
It'll be a CBU, so I guess it will have the
It will be
taxes.
a CBU and only as a halo product which will be placed. But we are still not yet thought about it, but we got to see how it goes.
So the mass market EV is obviously here. Looking at the KZE, the electric quid, we saw this, launched earlier, and now obviously this is there in China. I mean, it was just, I think, a matter of time and when this would come. So just your thoughts on this, because even at this end, it's not easy. Batteries are still expensive. Do you need localization? So what's the strategy in trying to look at this for the Indian market? And, we've seen some of competition launching EVs at pretty competitive prices. You'll have to match that. So just your thoughts on how's the KZE going to pan out in India?
Basically, our whole idea on electric mobility is not to bring niche products. We want to bring affordable mass market product. And Quid is a perfect car to electrify it and bring it to India with a heavy local content. Our target is to go beyond 75% of local content.
75% for an electric query.
Electric. And to make sure that we are the best attractive and affordably priced vehicle. So that's the whole idea. And our purchasing team is working very aggressively on localization and talking to the partners. We have a lot of global partners because we are pioneers in electric cars, and we are requesting them to put up shops in India for localizing these products. So in next 2 years, you will see this product on the roads, which is our electric mobility solution objectives in 2022. As per CAFE norms, we will be there, we have to be there. But initially, we may not be localizing to that extent, but in steps, we would be going towards 75-80% local content.
But would you be looking for partners in this? Because a lot of common componentry, especially in batteries and cells, that sort of thing, it just makes sense to kind of share resources.
Absolutely, we are looking for partners. I'm sure our purchasing team is working in that direction, and that's the whole objective, because putting all together gets a bigger volume and you can localize faster. So
Right.
that's the whole idea.
And let's move to a product over here, which I think is to show that EVs can be fun, they can be practical, they are very good for urban conditions. Your good old Twizy over here, quite unique. I think we've driven this, and it's really a fun car. Obviously, this is just a demonstrator. I think this would not have any application in India at all. But I think clearly, just your thoughts on this.
First of all, this is to show our capability of electric last mile connectivity cars. And this is a cargo version. It's not a passenger version, it's a cargo version. I'm not sure if you have seen the door behind. The application could be like Swiggy's or Amazon delivery boys and so on and so forth. So it can be used. But currently, we have no plans to bring it to India. If at all we bring it to India, it should be extensively localized, because otherwise it's way too expensive for India today.
Right, it would be an expensive toy, I think, for really maybe the super rich to make a statement or whatever. Very small numbers, but yeah, clearly not very feasible right now. And of course, design is something that you all have always taken pride in, and I guess the Symbios is a bit of a demonstrator of the company's design capabilities. So is that one of the reasons you had this on display over here?
Yeah, it is to showcase our technological power of making a complete module of car, which is autonomous, connected, and it's an amazing vision car which we have today. So this is to showcase our power of technology.
Great. And I think, obviously you've got the facelifted Quid here, which we've seen, but coming back now to, again, back down to earth and actually to one of your heroes, which is the Triber. I think are you surprised with the response it's got in the market? I mean, to be honest, were you expecting these sort of volumes given the downturn and given the market conditions? Because you've actually bucked the trend. I mean, you've shown growth in a market that's really been declining.
First of all, I need to thank our customers. And this product was built with the engagement of a lot of our customers in the past.
Right.
And a lot of feedback was taken, and we made this sub 4 meter magic in space.
Right. So who is the customer? Are they typically first time family buying it as a family?
35% are new buyers. That's the most important thing. And
New buyers to the brand or first time car buyers?
first time car buyers. And
Wow.
that's very important. And this is also going both in urban and rural markets.
Right.
And that's a wide range which this car is able to cover. So therefore, our customer base is slowly getting enlarged on a day-to-day basis.
Right.
And we'll continue to work this. And yesterday, as you know, we launched with AMT to bring driving comfort both in city and highway conditions.
Right.
With a traffic assist. So it's now we're pepping up more customers to come to our showrooms.
So, just looking at this, we've got, I'm just going to ask you to come in here and I'll join you from the other side. So, yeah, looking at, it's obviously you've got what I call a standard shift over here. You've not got the rotary design. But this time you've got, you've got the creep function already built in, because that was the feedback I think you got.
Yes, that's the feedback, and we have made sure that all feedback is incorporated, and this should be one of the best AMT available in the market today.
Right, and just a quick one also is, how do you see this segment expanding with AMT, and maybe which we'll go to finally is your HR10. We'll end the show with that. How do you see the volumes expanding? I mean, do you expect to get a lot more volume? I mean, obviously people were expecting AMT or automatic. It's just becoming more and more. How do I say? You just have to have it. It's hygiene. So do you see you getting much more volume with this now?
Our expectation is that from the current volume, we should see an enhancement of about 30%.
30% with just the AMT?
Yes, just because of AMT, we are looking for about 30% enhancement in volumes. And I'm sure that this was the trend even with Quid or other vehicles. So we are expecting the same response from the customers.
Right, and let's just jump to the HR10. So obviously a small turbo petrol, very compact. I think let's look at it from here.
Yeah.
And you've got all the tech in it, BS6 compliant.
BS6 compliant.
Obviously, this is going to be very, very fuel efficient as well.
It's a turbocharged, BS6 compliant, and very effective engine. And as well, we are going to localize this engine. So that's the most important thing.
Right, and this is around 100 horsepower as well from a 1 liter, which is quite amazing.
About 95.
95 horsepower. So almost 100 bhp, per liter, which is a very, very high specific output. But tell me, these engines are also costly because to have a turbo petrol, is quite expensive in this. So is localization going to be the key?
Of course, we are going to localize this engine, and our whole DNA of affordability to the customer demands for localization. So we have to localize this. How fast we localize is a question. So we are working on this. Again, let's see how fast we will localize. Probably by end of next year we should be.
Right. And obviously you will have volumes from your other products. I mean, it's a known secret that you're going to have a compact SUV. So obviously this will power that. It's really important for that because SUVs need that kind of mid-range torque which a turbo petrol gives. So I'm sure this will be a key engine for your future products as well.
Definitely. It's a super secret. Don't tell anyone. But yes, this is going to power our future products too.
Right. So that's a wrap. We've had a quick tour. Thanks so much, Mr. Venkatram, for this. It's really been quite insightful looking at the wide range. Obviously, Renault, I think it's safe to say that you are differentiating yourself with kind of different products. I mean, products like, let's say, the Quid, which kicked it all off, the Duster before that, and now the Triber. I think maybe Capture needs a little bit of work, but I'm sure you've got, as you said, you've got plans for that. But overall, I think you're pretty upbeat about the outlook despite the tough conditions.
Sure. Thank you very much for having us on this. And very important is this year, 2020 is very important for Renault as well as for the automotive industry. Because in my opinion, the downward trend which we saw for the last 18 months, we should have some uplift in this year.
Right.
And who moves faster is a big thing now. And everybody are showcasing a lot of new products. So are we. Everybody have their plans, and let's see how the automotive industry behaves in India this year.
Who moves faster? I think that really is the key because the automotive market is a race, a hotly contested one, and it's really the ones who are the most nimble, agile, and adaptive that are going to be ahead. Thanks so much for talking to us,
Thank you.
and wish you all the best.
Thank you.